welcome to Embroidery Club for April from my house. This is so weird. When we met in March, we had no idea things were going to be quite like this. But I didn't want to miss getting to share some things with you. So welcome. I hope everybody's doing great. I'm going to miss your show and tell, so feel free to send me some pictures. It's just a little different. So let's go ahead and let me show you what the project is. I do expect, I see my cat over there, I do expect a little guest star here pretty soon. But our project from Kimberbell this month is the beautiful tote bag with the pole flowers on it. Okay? So let's talk a little bit about this. Believe it or not, this is one I might have actually stitched out for you guys had we been able to meet. We're going to use one of the denim totes. So I have those in stock, and I have some of the pole flowers in stock. So if you are excited by this project, which I really am, I want to make sure that you guys let me know so I can make sure and have enough of everything for you guys. This is the Kimberbell tote, which normally comes flat, right? And we're going to hoop it up. This one is going to use your 6x10 hoop, I believe. Might have been the 5x7. I've completely lost track. But look, I have my cheat sheet. So this is what I go by, which is the exact same instructions that you guys are going to get in your design. So how are you going to get your design for this month? You can come to the store with your USB all beautifully cleaned off for me, and I will load the design file on for it. Or you can call me, and I'll sell you a new flash drive, and I'll load it on there for you, and then we can meet in the parking lot, we can mail it, whatever you guys need us to do. Kimberbell is not allowing us to just email the files to you. So let's cheat. It is a 6x10, but you do have the choice of using a 5x7, and it's going to be a little bit smaller design if you wanted to put it on something else. All right. So we've got our flat guy in there, and it's going to do our embroidery parts for us, as you can see. But this one I love because we've got some of those fringe flowers. And I've got a few new techniques for you for fringe flowers. Stabilizer, what does she want us to use? She actually talks about using a tearaway. I used a tearaway soft in mine. You could use a tearaway firm. But I'm not sure I really like being able to see that on the inside. So I'm thinking we could use a no-show mesh, which would at least give us a nicer kind of finished look on the inside. But I used, well, this is the alternate one. This is the tearaway firm that we use in lots of things. I kind of like the soft for this project, but didn't make any difference. Now, on mine, I'm not really sure I love that inside look, so I've got a couple pretty prints that look really nice with my flowers, and I'm going to line my bag, which I think would look a little bit nicer. Okay? All right, so we've got our fringe flowers. Sometimes one of the tricks we find is how do, and honestly you could look on the inside of mine, but since I've already cut on my fringe, it's going to be a little trickier. When we do the fringe flowers, we flip them over and we look at the bobbin thread, okay? And are you looking at me, honey, or are you looking at my project? Come back to me, hi! So we need to find that bobbin thread on the back of our fringe flowers. Sometimes that's a little tricky. So we're gonna try a few things. She says in the instructions, hey, if you can't see it, you might do a different bobbin thread. Well, that doesn't tell us anything. Which bobbin thread? So I tried on my different guys 4 different bobbin threads. So this is, if you have just your regular sewing and embroidery combo machine, you're using the 60 weight bobbin thread. So that's what I used. That was the hardest one to be able to see what I was doing, okay? So then I tried my 90 weight bobbin thread, which is for the embroidery only machines. So you could do vice versa if you wanted to. That one I didn't care that much for. It almost made it too much bobbin thread for me. So then I went to my regular Aurifil thread. That worked pretty well. I could see that pretty nicely to know where to go. And then I tried just my regular weight embroidery thread rather than the bobbin weight thread, and that was my favorite one. but I really want you guys to see, because everybody's tensions are a little bit different on their machines. What worked perfectly for me might not be the best choice for you. So do a little trial. You've got enough little fringe flowers in there to try one of each to see what you guys liked better. But you want to be able to see that bobbin thread so that you can clip just the bobbin threads so that your flowers fringe up nice and pretty. If you get an extra little guy that you didn't mean to get there, I just took a needle and thread and popped those little suckers through. Every once in a while you cut one thread you didn't mean to and just trim them. Just give them a little bit of a haircut. But they're so pretty. All right, then the fun part was the embellishment. So those are going to use the pull flowers from Kimberbell. And this is the spring, actually I'm sorry, it's summer. Summer and fall is what she has. The fall ones would look really pretty too if you picked a little bit different color of stuff to stitch. So the summer ones come in, you actually had 6 colors on your card. So you've got these left to use from something else, but I used on this larger design the 2 larger ones. And you know how the pull flowers work, right? They've got little threads. So as you pull the threads, the flower gathers up and then you tie it off. And I used the threads that were left from what I gathered and just went through with a needle and thread up and down a couple times, tied them off on the back, and they're quite sturdy. And then I adjusted just how pretty. I just think those are really gorgeous. The project is very, very pretty. Now, this would be beautiful even on the back of a jacket, lots of different things. But I want you to experiment with the pull flowers. If you haven't used them before, they're really quite fun, and they add that 3D. It's not like, come on, I know, it's not like our rickrack and our pom-poms. This is a whole elegant look. See, you guys aren't even here, and I can't even hassle you. Darn it. It's no fun not to have you guys in front of me. Okay, well, there's the project, right? Ta-da! Very nice. And then I sewed the sides up on it, okay? And then there's your tote. So I think a lining would give it just that little bit extra body. But it's a really fun project, and I think the design is quite lovely. All right, so there's our project. So let's talk about other fun things. What we had wanted to do was to get some tips and tricks on the Kimberbell for this month. Well, now, I don't know how many of you are actually sewing Kimberbells or you're spending all your time making masks or what we're doing, but here's one of my little partially made Kimberbells so I can give you guys a little bit of few little tips and tricks. So really cool how they're made. You do the body and the heart, you do the legs, the arms. This guy is done all by his lonesome. He's a little 3D. He's got a little bit of stuffing, and then the muzzle gets sewn on. And then your ears are separate. So you got to put the parts and pieces together. You know you've all watched, well, a lot of you have, the one of you that care, right? Have watched some of the tutorials on how are you going to put it together. So I find I do like just to pin my guys in there, making sure they're in far enough, and stitch across for my arms, legs, and, oops, that goes this way. That looks a little better. On my head, you are just going to have to hand sew. There's just no other way. If you don't think you're going to catch it, you could do a little hand basting in there with a contrasting thread, then you'd be able to sew perfectly. These guys are very forgiving with the fur because you can't really tell where your stitches are. That's also a downside to it because you can't tell where your stitches are, and sometimes you don't catch everything. These guys also look really darling just out of flannel, out of cottons, a patchwork using leftovers. They're quite fun. This is my favorite tool though, because this guy allows me to get in there and get my curves. So once you've turned it, this part of my point turner, whoops, don't worry, I wasn't supposed to sew there, that's where a leg's gonna go. But this allows me to get in there and really give a nice curve to my parts and pieces. So I'll put my legs on and my arms on, then I'll stuff my body a little bit, and then I'll put my head on, and then he'll be done. Very cute. So if you drive by the store or come to see me, you have to look in the window because we've got the bear in the window, right? Which is the thing now. You're driving around with your kids and you're looking for all the bears people have put in the windows. Something, I don't know, heard it on the radio. You guys, I'm sure, know what I'm talking about. But my bear is in the window now at the store. All right, so we're gonna scoot him aside. One thing you do need to have for the bears is the hydro melt topping though. Some of you have used this, some of you, this might be something new, but it's that plastic topper. So when the face goes down, it holds that fur in place so that your stitches stand above the fur. So it's kind of a neat, I hadn't really used too much of this, so that was a really fun technique to do. And in the hoop, they go very quickly. The amounts of fabric that they call for your nose and your heart, I mean, you've got 4 times as much as you need. But the other pieces, and you know, we've still got kits for $5 of ones we've cut to go. All right, enough about Kimberbell. Our last thing to chat about today is going to be the new button CD. I think I showed it to you guys last month. We took a bunch of pre-orders for it. Most of you guys have picked it up. But I wanted to show you, I just stitched out the spring one, and they are absolutely darling. This is the larger of the two, and then there's a smaller one, a little bit narrower and a little bit shorter. There's these guys, and then attached to this video will be pictures of a few things as well. So very, very fun. I'm going to sew my buttons on, but there's spring, summer, fall, and then the winter one. So if you did our little thing last December, you might have already made the winter, but now you'll get a different size of it too, and all the companion projects. So I think these are absolutely darling. So what we did is we went ahead, because you guys are asking me, are you going to cut kits? And yes, we cut kits. So I have kits for spring, summer, and fall. But we've included fat 16ths and fat 8ths in the kit. So not only are you going to have enough to make it, you're going to have enough to make 2 of them, or the companion projects, or maybe even everything. So all I used in this kit for spring that we gave you is 2.5-inch squares out of these fabrics. Most of the background, but I might be able to get enough for the small one. But we also included another background piece for you, because there's also the darling projects that are in the embroidery hoops, and also that show, I have fur, and the fur is making my nose itch. And then the ones that go on the towel. So on the spring one, there's that cute little bug, the Volkswagen bug. That's really cute. So then you have a background piece for it. So we've given you tons of fabric in it to do everything you wanted. And each kit is $9.99, and then includes, 6 or 7 fat 16ths, and then your fat 8th for the background. So lots of fun stuff. This was a blast. So darling. And once I get the buttons on, but you know, I'm running a little behind because that's just my life. So we got this done just to show you guys tonight. Okay, final thing to talk about is what's coming up. What excitement is there going to be for us? Well, you know, we had our sewing embroidery event with Joan. We had to postpone, so we're doing that in June again. And now I've got a couple openings. So if you're interested, you've got to let me know. We've also got our Kimberbell Day at the Fair coming up. So our next one was is still April 19th. Kimberbell, get so confused. Kimberbell, too many Kimber stuff. The next event, they are allowing us to let you guys take the kits home to do them on your own. But the bonus CD on that one is fabulous. So if you're not able to make it, or you live not in close by, and you'd still like to join us for that event, we can make that work. And we might do a video to show you a few tips and tricks, but that one's really, really fun. And attached again to this video will be pictures of that event. And then, what do you think the chances of us getting together next month are? Really good, right? Well, that's the plan. So we're going to spend double time looking at all of the show and tell, because I know you guys are sewing your little hearts out. I wish I was, but, you know, but somebody's got to keep the doors open. And I appreciate everything about you guys, and that you are watching this silly video and we're making things do. I love to hear from you. If you need anything, we're here. We've got lots of fun things planned. You know, it gives us more time to plan exciting events and grand ideas for the future. So I hope you guys enjoy this. If you have any questions about the projects, if you want to come pick it up at the store, you want me to take it out to your car, you want us to ship it, deliver it, whatever you want, I want to get you these things because I want you guys to keep on sewing. So let me know if you need totes and pull flowers. I have more of the pull flowers coming next week from Kimberbell, and the totes are all in stock. So we'll get everything all set for you guys. Thank you. It wasn't nearly as much fun without you guys here with me, but I'm sure that you'll be texting me as you're watching this just to hassle me. I know a couple of you will. I won't say your names out loud, but we all know who you are. Thank you, guys. I will see you in May, one way or the other. Take care. Stay safe and well. Bye.